Hey, 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 we're back here with chapter 10 of The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. Again, The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. Scholastic does allow me to read this book for YouTube. Again, Scholastic does allow me to read this book. Okay, so at the end of the last chapter, we had the farmer was, found him, brought him home. Grandma or his wife was all super happy, but then somebody came home. Okay, at the very end. So I want you guys to make a prediction of what you guys think is going to happen in chapter 10. Again, make a prediction about what you think is going to happen in chapter 10 with your friend, with yourself, or with your brother and sister. Pause the video now. And we're back. All right, so here we are, chapter 10. Lolly was a lumpy woman who spoke too loudly and who wore too much lipstick. She entered the house and immediately spotted Edward sitting on the living room couch. "What's this?" she said. She put down her suitcase and picked Edward up by the foot. She held him upside down. "That's Susanna." "Susanna!" shouted Lolly, and she gave Edward a shake. His dress was up over his head, and he could see nothing. Already he had formed a deep, abiding hatred for Lolly. "Your father found her," said Nellie. "She came up in a net, and she didn't have no clothes on her, so I made her some dresses." "Have you gone skivvy?" shouted Lolly. "Rabbits don't need clothes." "Well," said Nellie, her voice shook, "this one seemed to." Lolly tossed Edward back onto the couch. He landed face down with his arms over his head and his dress still over his face. And he stayed that way through dinner. "Why have you got that old high chair?" shouted Lolly. "Oh, don't pay it no mind," said Nellie. "Your father was just gluing on one little piece, wasn't you, Lawrence?" "That's right," said Lawrence without looking up from his plate. Of course, after dinner, Edward did not go outside and stand beneath the stars to have a smoke with Lawrence. No. Nellie, for the first time since Edward had been with her, did not sing him a lullaby. In fact, Edward was ignored and forgotten about until the next morning, when Lolly picked him up again and pulled his dress down over his face and stared at his eye. "Got the old folks bewitched, don't you?" said Lolly. "I heard the talk in town, and they've been treating you like a rabbit child." Edward stared back at Lolly. Her lipstick was a bright and bloody red. He felt a cold breeze blow through the room. Was the door wide open somewhere? "Well, you don't fool me," she said. She gave him a shake. "We'll be ripping a trip together, you and me." Holding Edward by the ears, Lolly marched into the kitchen and shoved him face down into the garbage can. "Ma!" Lolly shouted. "I'm taking the truck. I'm going to head out and do some errands." "Oh," came Nellie's tremulous voice. "That's wonderful, dear. Goodbye, then." "Goodbye," thought Edward as Lolly hauled the garbage can out to the truck. "Goodbye," Nellie called again, louder this time. Edward felt a sharp pain somewhere deep inside his china chest. For the first time, his heart called out to him, and it said two words: Nellie and Lawrence. All right. That is the end of chapter 10. I want you guys to answer these two questions. Again, only a couple of people are answering in your books and sending it to me. Again, you can send me a message on Seesaw as well about what your answers are. One, I want to know, how did Edward feel about the daughter, Lolly? Okay, again, how did Edward feel about the daughter, Lolly? Okay, and my last question is, at the very end, it said he felt something in his chest, two words. All right. What are those two words, and why did he feel them? Okay, again, what are those two words, and why did he feel them? All right, that's the end of this chapter. I'll see you guys next week for chapter 11.